Welcome to the Primitive Lifeways channel on YouTube. I'm so glad you can join me here today. In this video, I'll demonstrate and discuss how to lay out and measure a plain style bow or a double curve design. So stick around, I'll be right back with you. So the first thing that I do is I need to find the center of this stave. I take the length and I divide it by 2. So we have about 52 inches divided by 2. That puts me at 26 inches. I mark that and I draw a line. From there, I measure 2 inches on each side, and that gives me a 4-inch handle area. So at each 2-inch mark, I will once again mark a line across the stave. From there, I want to create a center line running vertically along this entire stave. So I find a center spot and I just trace all the way up to the tip, following the grain. Luckily, this grain is nice and straight, but with a character bow or a snaky bow, you want to make sure you follow that. So then we have our handle and we have a center line. Now from the handle, I'm just making horizontal marks on both sides of the stave every 2 inches. So you can see here we have 2 inches all the way up until we get about 6 inches, and that's where I taper into my tips. So once we have those horizontal marks made, it's very simple. At the horizontal marks, I just measure out 1.25 inches and I make vertical marks right at that measurement every 2 inches. You can see we have the horizontal marks and then we have the vertical 1.25 inch marks all the way up. From there, it's as easy as tracing the lines together using the edge of the ruler. So I'll flip this stave over and you can see that's exactly what I've done on this side. The vertical marks are hard to see because once again I took the pencil and penciled everything in, but we have those horizontal marks once every 2 inches on both sides, 1.25 inches wide, and I just connected the lines. Now I'm just connecting these lines together, and this creates a very precise measurement. So I don't have a narrow spot in this stave and I don't have a wide spot because again, my 2-inch increments are very close together. I don't want to go in 8-inch increments or 12-inch increments because then my lines tend to wander off and I have a narrow spot. 2 inches is a very nice number and it keeps the stave, or the bow in this case, nice and even. So again, we just trace that in from line to line and I've reached my end. Now when I'm talking about 1.25 inches total width, I'm measuring off of this center line. So I have 1.25 inches on this center line total width. Another thing to keep in consideration is, depending on the stave, of course, this is a really nice clean stave. If you're working with a piece of lumber like this with nice straight grain, I try to keep things as even as possible. So that means I'm taking off equal amounts of wood on the right side, my right side, and equal amounts on my left side. So on this right side, I'm taking off 1/8 inch, and on the left side, I'm also removing 1/8 inch. And once I remove that, I have my 1.25 inch total. And again, you can see here, we're removing 1/8 inch, 1/8 inch, all the way down. So this is going to make a really nice bow. Now, staying traditional, I went ahead and shortened this stave up a little bit. At this point, moving forward, I will take my draw knife and a rasp and just follow these lines. A very easy process, but once again, we have to work slow so we don't gouge the wood. Osage likes to travel. Okay, so as you folks can see, very easy and simplistic measurements. At this point, I'm ready to set back the handle, continue tillering both of the limbs to get that nice swooping double curve shape in this bow. If you folks are interested in making and reproducing a plain style bow in an upcoming video series, I show exactly how to do so. It's a step-by-step tutorial. I think you folks will enjoy it, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, help me out. Subscribe to the Primitive Lifeways channel on YouTube, click the notification bell, hit the thumbs up button, and share this video on social media. It really helps us to grow, expand, and most important, hit a wide, diverse audience. Take care. Once again, I'm Jeff with PrimitiveLifeways.com. We'll see you in the next one.